not be in front of the camera. But anyway, so we're back to the beans. So this is what I've harvested. This is now the fourth harvest. There's a lot of beans, and I'm going to just go ahead and put these in a Ziploc bag and stick them in my freezer. So we're good now with this tower. She's good to go. The next thing I want to do is I want to harvest the summer squash and the zucchini that's on this tower. And then I'm going to take this tower out of commission. I'm going to actually move the plants over to the existing zucchini, and there's actually some summer squash. So we're just going to mix that over on the other home tower, and then we're going to take this one apart and clean it. So let me put this aside. All right. Here we go. I'll give you guys a little tour first. All right, so we've got that summer squash right there that's going to come off. What happened here? So this is just falling. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a monster in there. And I think this is called long neck summer squash. And this, I think this seed was from Botanical Interest. So my goal here is just to take it off the tower, and the same thing with that zucchini, if you can see it kind of a little bit lower. And then I'm going to actually take these plants, the net pots, pop them off and put them on the other tower. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. And they're pretty big. So, I mean, I'd like to get them a little bit bigger, but I just want to go ahead and move and take this tower out of commission. So yummy. And give it a good cleaning. And take it over here so you can see this one. This is a big one. My goodness, I gotta get in there and cut this. Yeah. And again, that's pretty big. Okay. So that's really it for this tower. I'm just gonna kind of clean it up a little bit. Swivel you guys around. So, hey, what's going on? All right, so here is our harvest bucket. I mean, I could put some tomatoes and stuff in there too, but I really don't need them. I usually just kind of pick those as I need them. And they're delicious. They're all really good. But the biggest thing is I want to get these guys, these plants that I can salvage into the other tower so I can take this out of commission. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim back what I can. I'll probably start with this one first. Can you guys see this one? It actually has a summer squash on it. Hey, what's going on? All right, and just put my hands. Yes, you guys can see. And I maybe have to salvage this with not being able to pollinate that, but the plant looks relatively healthy. But we're going to give it a whirl. But at least I can go ahead and get this out of here because it just needs to be cleaned. It's really icky and gooey. And I know that that's part of the problem. When the tower gets too dirty, you're going to fight against the pH, and you're constantly going to have to, go ahead and, just keep lowering it or bringing it up depending on what it's being called for. So we're going to pop that net pot out. Let me get my tool. And then we're going to put it into the other tower. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking in this tower and I'm just going gross. It's got lots and lots of roots. And again, I'm going to just slightly pull straight up to try to salvage as much of the roots as I possibly can without hurting it. And then gently kind of maneuver because I have fruit on here. This is pretty thick. And again, I probably, yeah, the roots all look really good, although I'm going to give it a haircut. So I'm going to bring you guys over here, and this is where it's going to go, kind of right in that little spot right there. But I'm going to cut some of these roots because I'm never going to be able to get them in there. And I know by doing this that I'm probably going to disturb the feng shui of this plant, and it's going to just not let me keep that zucchini, or excuse me, summer squash. But we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to stuff the roots, maybe right now. I've got some of the big ones, so I'm going to go right there and see if it will allow me, bless me. Okay, so she's in, and I've got two. This one isn't open just yet, so I don't know, fingers crossed that she can hold out. And I've kind of cut some of the other foliage away, kind of giving me a little bit of room. I might just cut that one off too, because these guys are going to need some light. And I don't want it to be shadowed. So I'm going to just try to cut from the bottom of these guys. Bring my garbage. And when I bring the wands back down, I'll be sure to put them right here. So we'll do that in a minute. All right, so let's go back and work on the next one. Let's prune it back just a little bit. Got some yellowing. Again, I think that was just from the, just being old. Ouch. Oh, the thorns on these things are brutal. When they get older and they grow those thorns, man. Oh, oh, oh. The vine, the top of the vine that's connected into that net pot looks pretty good. It looks nice and strong. All right, so let's take her out and see if we can't salvage this one too. Sometimes as these get older and they get really heavy, what ends up happening is they crack and they just can't handle the weight. So again, I'm going to pull straight up, kind of jiggle, jiggle, trying to get as much of the roots as I can. And unfortunately, I did not get a whole lot. So that's it for the roots on this one. So bring it on over here. And I'm going to put it probably I have a space in the back. I do. I might just pop out one. Bear with me for 1 second. Hopefully YouTube doesn't shut this off again. So funny. The software that they build if you're not in front of the camera. And I know why, but I just think it's hilarious. Some ingenious person probably set their camera up in front of a fish bowl while the fish were swimming back and forth, and the algorithm can pick it up. Because everyone's trying to get their watch hours in. So, okay, so I set this up at the back on the bottom. Let's see, how it does. I'm not hopeful because the bottom ones usually are so canopied that they don't like it. But they're spaced out enough that they should. So we really have just one more. And I really do think that I'm going to put it here. Let me just stand back for a quick second. if this is shifted this way, maybe what I'll do is I'll move the snap pot and go here to give this room to grow out. And then we'll put the last one, which is good size. I might even be able to put him here and then swing it out a little bit. So here we go. I'm just going to go get it. I might just give it a little trim. So come with me because you never know what YouTube's going to do now. So we're going to go ahead and just trim this back a little bit. Anything that's not necessary, I'm gonna take. And it's this one's really healthy. It's really, really healthy. It doesn't need like all this growth over here, so I'm just gonna trim it. But it produced a really beautiful zucchini. So hopefully we can get some more because it's pretty mature. You know, the flowers on this plant are really gorgeous, but they don't stick around. I mean, they open up for like a day and then that's it. Then they're gone. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this guy. And maybe this guy. Yeah, I might be able to, that will work nice with that vine. Okay, we ready? Everybody ready? We're going to take this out and we're going to move it. Who we got? Any good comments? No. Okay. All right, so this is the last plant on this tower before we shut it down. And it's a biggie. Okay, so again, I'm just pulling straight up. I want to protect this vine. And I'm going to go ahead and just gently, look at this monster, guys. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I need two hands, so I can't move the camera. Hold on. I'm going to just gently insert the roots into where it's going to go, but I'm also supporting the vine. There we go. That's the noise I want. And it's really just kind of beautifully on the side. So let me get you. Come on over here, guys. Okay. So right down here is where I want that wand of light. So it's kind of tilted. So I could probably twist it a little bit and bring her back. And maybe bring one leaf this way and see what happens here. But, you know, I probably will take these two bottom leaves off just to get a little bit of resting. Which one is that? Yeah, they both have resting. So, and that'll just a little, I mean, look how big those leaves are. Crazy, right? And then I just got to make sure that I can get to the water. Yeah, that's fine. I can always move this just a little bit. I'm going to go this way with my scissors. I need to make sure that the water tank is always available to get in there so I can top off. So don't ever block this. Just try to keep this open, you know, as best that you possibly can. But this tower looks really good now that it's really grown. I've got a zucchini right there that's going to pop. But I'm hopeful for this guy, but we'll see. We'll know in about 24 hours whether or not it liked its, you know, new home. Okay, so now what we did was we cleaned out that tower and it's ready to come offline because it's gross. And I don't think since I started this venture in December, I've cleaned this. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically just take it apart and clean it. give it a good wash, put the parts through the dishwasher, and then put it back together. So the last thing that I want to do with you guys today is I want to put the trellis that I have, they call it the cage. I'm going to put these wands back down before I forget. I did that last night. I was like, oops, oopsie. Came down and there were a bunch of wands that were like still in the air. Like, see the bean tower over there? The room is so bright with everything that, you know, you're like, oh, it's good. So let me just get these back down. So everybody's happy with the light that they need. There we go, not too close to burn. But this just needs a good thorough scrubbing in and out. But we'll get to that in a minute. We're gonna go ahead and do this trellis. So stay with me. This will be the last thing that we do today. And I'm gonna do it. I always love it. I love a challenge. I'm gonna do it with the lights on. Let's see if I can actually do that. So I need all of these parts and hardware. Let me go find that little bag of hardware. I think there's a wing nut that goes on the bottom. I think it's just a single wing nut. If you have multiple towers, obviously they send you lots and lots of hardware. Never throw it out. Always hang on to it. And the reason is that you never know when you're going to need it. So I just, for all these bags, I need 2 wing nuts. And then, bam, there we go. Okay. So these poles go right on the side. Again, I'm going to try to do this with the lights. And this cover's not lined up. Just make sure the other side is lined up. Should be. So the little nut goes on the bottom, and then this little guy. What I have found when you're doing the towers, when you're taking them apart, is hold the wing nut on the bottom and then twist. I'm righty, so let me just fix that. Twist this pole into the wing nut. Otherwise, you're killing your fingers. Try to get this as tight as you can without stripping it, okay? So this goes down. And this cage is from TowerGarden, and it fits only on the Flex. The home ones have their own version. Looks like the Pentagon. Okay. So I'm going to pull this tower out just a bit. Now there are poles. Let me get those. And lay them all out. Oops. And so these guys go on the bottom. They go over the wing nut. And, or no, maybe, I forget. Hold on. Is it, let me just look at the ones. So that goes down to the bottom. I'm just looking at one of my other cages. Okay, so these guys go into this little thing. There we go. And then one of these goes over the pole. Bam. This is a zucchini tower, so it's like a round zucchini, so you definitely need a trellis. You cannot not do it without it because it will just be an absolute disaster. I've seen some people in the forums when they put together these trellises, they put the lights on the inside. Please don't do that. You'll regret it and you'll have to take it apart. So make sure that the lights are on the outside. Now you're going to see me have to unclip the lights here. Take this off. I'm going to try to do this with the lights on, like super, super close, so I don't have to take them off. But when I'm done, they will be on the outside. Now, no guarantee that I can do this. I might have to take it off, but let me just see. It goes down, right? It goes down. So I'm going to try to feed it. Again, I did this for one of the homes and it worked. You just have to make the lights really skinny without killing the plant. Okay. Hopefully we didn't kill any plants. All right, that goes down. I really don't want to have to take off the lights. Okay. So then the first one sits like this. Oh no, I take that back. Hold on. You have to thread it through this pipe. It's been a few months since I had to put one of these together. It's not hard. It's pretty much based on common sense where the holes go. I don't know why there's two holes there, but whatever. Okay, so then, let's see. This goes here. It's right on top. I'll be so mad if I have to take the lights off. All right, so then these go on top again. I don't know, the lights may have to come off. We'll see. All right, this goes back down. And again, I'm just gonna really try not to take them off. Okay. And then, hold on. The lights have to, I knew it. I knew it. The lights have to come off, guys. All right, my bad. And then we'll put them back on. The lights are such a pain. They're necessary, but they are an absolute pain because they're hard and heavy to move. Sorry, I'm this way. Ooh, this one's on there. Okay, so we'll put the lights back on in a minute. Okay. So again, learn from my mistakes. Take the lights off. That's okay. I thought I could do it. I've done one other trellis. I want to say it was must have been the home that I could do that. So let's go ahead and feed. Let's see, this needs to go here. And here. And then they just clip on. But I'm glad I'm doing it now because these things grow really fast. And it's going to need that support, like the zucchini tower that we just, it's very similar to this, but the zucchinis are round versus that elongated fruit, which is this guy right here. Okay. So let's put our last little things on. And this goes down over the top and right there. Right there, press them down. There. Okay. And then you need 2 wing nuts for the top. So back into the old supply of hardware. Somebody was talking about in a forum how they were trying to take their lights off. It must have been an old tower. And they stripped it. So the old lights had, it was 2 pieces. So one, the watermelon tower is the older version. And those lights, when you take them apart, come off in 2 sections. So I'm glad that they remodeled that because that's a nightmare. So I feel really bad for the person who stripped it because that's a problem. The new ones are just 1 piece, but they're, you know, I'm short, so. And then you just attach the wing nuts. Make it nice and tight and secure without stripping. Kind of put a little pressure, just put it on the bottom. Yeah. I mean, it's a little wobbly, but that's the way they're supposed to be. And as things settle, whether it's like beans, watermelon, zucchini, the weight of the vines that are on there will stabilize it. So don't worry if it feels like, oh my God, this isn't safe. It's totally fine. Totally fine. Okay, so let's put the lights back on. All right, so my one thing with the lights, guys, is make sure that your cords line up. Make sure that your light timer in the front is lined up with your water hole. There we go. So I'm going to come back around. Ouch. And then I don't really like it to go down all the way until I have everything adjusted, meaning the cords. So notice timer's right here and my water hole is right here. And the reason why I say that is you want to keep the electricity in the back of the tower. So when I first put these together early on, it didn't dawn on me to do that. So let me save you the trouble to have to continuously spin things around. So my pump and my lights are all lined up. So now I feel pretty good about moving some of the wands. And then I'm going to get in here and lift it and start to distribute the weights of the wands, which will help you center it on the top. I guess I'm 5'4", so get a friend. But I like to see you guys watch me struggle. I know that's entertaining for some people. And then just make sure that it's nice and secure, okay? And then look at the lights are on the outside of the trellis. Always, because what happens is when you have that foliage, you want to be able to move the wands. So I'm going to go ahead and fix these. And get a nice curve on the top. Make sure that it's nice and secure too. The other thing too is make sure that they're even around the tower, because they do have a lot of weight to them and it will pull the water to one side. That's why I really didn't want to have to take these off, because I had them perfectly weighted. And make sure that the wands, you're going to get the light as well, spaced around the tower. So it looks pretty even. You know, it's kind of like hands on the wheel, 2 and 10, 9 and 11 in the back. And then I'll go ahead and plug this light back in. And then this tower is pretty much done. Got a lot done today. Okay, and then just probably adjust the time. It's not 4 o'clock, so I hit it when I was moving it, so it's 1:30. So I'm just going to simply spin it to right there. So I have these set to come on at 6 in the morning and they turn off at 9 at night. And then I'm going to push this back into place. And this is the tower, if you watched my live last Saturday, that we cleaned. So it's all clean, it's planted. We've got the trellis that we just didn't have time last week to do. The covers are on, it looks really good. No episodes other than just killing a few leaves while taking the lights off. So yeah, no, I'm very, very happy. And then the tower that we took apart, no, I'm sorry, this was the one we took apart last week. I'll swivel around because that was my little thumbnail that I did. This guy is doing great. This is the one that was all messed up. And this little cucumber right there, if you guys can see him, look at, he's pollinated and he's growing. This tower is alive. It's doing really, really well. I'm very pleased. I'm glad I made that decision, even though I lost a lot of celery last week. But I just planted in this first part before it went off a bunch of new stuff that I put right here and right here and right here. And you know, it probably needed a little more root, but I think it'll be okay because they're in net pots. I'm not too concerned. So, you know, it's 1:30 on a holiday weekend and we've got a lot accomplished. So I think I'll clean and wrap this up and we will see each other very, very soon. I thank everybody for joining me today. Let me spin this around and we're going to take that other tower apart maybe tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to go spend some time with my family now. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Oh, hey, Don, how are you? Yeah, so go back and see the reel that I just did prior, and then I was trimming off of some of the beans, and then it just went out. I don't know, like YouTube's doing something kind of weird. Happened yesterday too. So there's a bunch of lives from yesterday, and there's two from today. But I just did a big harvest of the green beans and took off a huge summer squash and zucchini and tons of beans. I'm probably going to cut everything up, not the beans, but freeze all that stuff. We moved what was on the zucchini summer squash tower over to the existing because I'm getting ready. And I don't know if you've heard, but somebody challenged me to do a pumpkin tower since the watermelon is doing so well. So go check that out. But I just ordered the seeds this morning. They'll be coming probably by Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to get them planted. I'll make sure I'll do that online with you guys because it will take about 3 months from seed to seedling to tower to get them right. But I love a good challenge, and I think we should do that as a community. So listen, thanks to everyone for joining me, and enjoy your holiday weekend. I'll probably come live tomorrow, maybe late morning, early afternoon to clean this tower. So if you want to join me and watch me get like gross dirty and get this set up for the next planting of stuff. So enjoy your day, everybody. Thank you.